Greetings, YouTube. So my wife and I recently had a chance to see Jack Reacher. I actually paid $10 whole for a brand new DVD because I wanted to see the movie. I was just interested in it. I have a love-hate relationship with Tom Cruise because, well, he may be nuts when it comes to his real life. He does a really nice action movie, and I was looking forward to having another opportunity to see him do that genre. Now, I have no tie to the novels. I never read them when I was reading fiction. I don't even know if they were still on the market. And I didn't read any of them, so I have nothing. I'm not bringing any baggage with me to this movie, so I'm just seeing it as an action film with Tom Cruise as the main character, as a former Army MP investigator, military police. So the first thing I did notice, my wife and I both noticed it, that much like the movie Rio Bravo, the beginning of this film, there's no dialogue. It is wonderfully slowly paced. Things are allowed to unfold. And it was just really well done. Now, we, the viewer, are privy to certain things that the character Jack Reacher isn't. So we are able to make a few leaps of cognition that he cannot, because he's operating under a sphere of ignorance, because he cannot be omniscient as we can, the viewer. That the film opens with an assassination, with a mass shooting where 5 people are killed. And it's very well done. There's a sense of authenticity to it, of place to it, that I really enjoyed that. And overall, the film looks good. Okay, I'll give you that. And I loved Tom Cruise's portrayal of his character. He is a little bit of a Mary Sue. He's kind of got all the things he needs to do the job, and he's the best memory and great investigator and awesome combatant and hand-to-hand combatant and an incredible shot with a rifle. He's just overall, he's just this wonderfully super type character. He's James Bond. There were problematic things with the film. In fact, the first time that any police authorities speak to the shooter once they catch him are rape jokes, essentially. Threats that if you go to prison, you'll be raped. That's something that we need to kill with fire right there. Rape should never be used as a threat, and it definitely shouldn't be used as a joke. The female characters in the film are weak. I mean, they're not as weak as the Expendables, where they're just cardboard characters. They're a little bit better here. The main female actress, whose name escapes me, is a little wooden, I'll admit. She doesn't come across as all that genuine. I think she gets better over the course of the film, and I don't know if they filmed this in chronological order or not, but I got that vibe in many ways. That at the end, by the end of the filming, she was more engaged and better able to really understand her character than she was in the beginning of the film. So that was kind of cool. At least she got better, even though she started out a little wooden. She got less as the film went on. And Jack Reacher's character does a lot of violence in this film, which was expected. It's an action film with a theme of crime and coming out of the military and things like that. So I kind of expected that. And as long as he's reacting to the violence around him, I think that his actions are understandable and excusable. If someone's trying to kill you, you kill them back, okay. Someone trying to beat you up and you beat them in kind, okay. I got no problem with that. He did use some questionable methods of getting information out of people, but he dipped into that gray zone. I was willing to let it slide because people were actively trying to kill him. And bumbling it quite spectacularly, but they were attempting to kill him. However, in the climactic scene of the film, and if you have not watched this movie and don't want this next thing spoiled, then stop watching me right now. Okay, please. Because I'm about to spoil the ending. At the end of the film, he takes out all the bad guys except for one. A man that poses no threat to him physically, who has no weapon, who doesn't have fingers, so cannot really wield a weapon. And the guy is very good at psychological warfare. And the guy can't necessarily beat Reacher psychologically, but he does imply to Reacher that things may not go the way Reacher would like them to go, and that he, the bad guy, may walk away while Reacher has to deal with some ramifications that he may not want to handle. So, what do you do? Well, Reacher has a helpless person in front of him. And Reacher's solution to the problem is to shoot him in the head. In the presence of a defense lawyer. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lawyer is an officer of the court. And it is that lawyer, the main female character's duty, to bring Reacher to justice for having committed murder in front of her eyes. Reacher commits murder. Cold-blooded murder. He deserves to be arrested, charged, tried, and if found guilty, spend the rest of his life in prison. And there's no doubt that he did it. We watch him do it. And yet, he is let go, is viewed as the hero. In fact, the final parting scene between he and the main female character looks like something out of Shane, out of this windswept woman saying goodbye to the hero cowboy as he rides off into the distance, in this case in a truck with Robert Duvall. Again, I was surprised he was in the film. I didn't know. And at the end of the last scene, we see Reacher in on a bus. Again, no dialogue with Reacher. Just you can hear dialogue on the bus itself, background dialogue. And I do applaud them for the moments of silence and the pacing in this film. It wasn't constant MTV style edits. He's about to enact another form of justice. Except it isn't justice. He is now morally bankrupt. He has committed murder. He is a murderer. He has stepped outside the moral sphere, and he is now one of the bad guys. And the fact that this was set up to be a future franchise, I'm assuming, I can only assume that they wanted to make Tom Cruise into another franchise. That's what they always want to do. Tom Cruise is remarkably good at franchises. Is astounding. There is no question that his character is morally bankrupt. It was expedient to murder someone, so he did. And that is an act of vengeance, not justice. And it isn't something we need to applaud. And it really made me dislike the film at the end. I'm kind of disappointed with it. So I don't know if you enjoyed Jack Reacher. I don't know if you were able to see it as a popcorn action film. But the moral ramifications of the actions in the film spoiled it for me. They ruined it for me. When I see a character that's supposed to be the hero, even if it's supposed to be an anti-hero, commit cold-blooded murder, I just can't walk away with a feel-good film review.